YouTube, we are back with another one, and today we have Clavicular is Clavicular is convincing Gen Z to ruin their lives. I see Clavicular's content. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of the dumbest contents I've ever seen in my life. Imagine having to put needles in your body because you're not confident in how you look, gang. Like, bro, come on, bro. Let's get into this though.
Bro.
Awesome. I love you so much. I get up on
Bro.
Are you not worried that you could...
Bro, did y'all just hear what she just said, bro?
get up on
I got into coke because of you. You're so cool. Like, bro, what are we talking about, bro?
Bro.
Are you not worried that you could do real harm to your body?
I'd say I do care, and I know what can come with it. I'm just gonna do it the safest way possible. If I have a heart attack at 30, I have a heart attack.
Andrew Tate sold these young men a fantasy. Fresh and Fit fed these young men a script for a lifestyle that was not obtainable by anybody. But Clavicular, the worst of them all, gave them a live demo of how to speed run destruction of your life on real time. And that right there is what makes Clavicular...
Bro, how is this even legal, bro? He's not... Isn't that something like you get arrested for? He's on stream putting needles in his body. He's injecting himself. I mean, steroids is not illegal, I think, but bro, how is Kick allowing him to do this, gang?
More dangerous than any other red pillar, manosphere guy, or any other self-help male guru that has existed in the place and space before.
Mind you, I'm gonna stop pausing the video. Mind you, Clavicular is 20 years old, bro. Clavicular is literally younger than me, gang. When this dude gets to 25, he's going to look absolutely disgusting. Shit, I might give him 30. When he gets to 30, bro, his face gonna be starting to break out crazy.
Now, don't get me wrong. What Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, and the rest of these guys did was harmful. But they spread messaging. It was some distance between that and the realities of the situation. A lot of it was podcast talk, a lot of it was performance, and ultimately it collapsed after, reality set in and these guys got exposed for having girlfriends, being, as they would say, simps, and doing all this fake nonsense that wasn't the reality of the words that they were saying. But Clavicular is different. He's actually doing these things in real life, and for what it's worth, he's seeing some real rewards behind this stuff. He's ending up on the biggest publications and broadcasts in the world. He's getting favorable Kick deals and sponsorships, and he's getting all of the fame and notoriety that anybody could ask for destroying his life in real time. And for what it's worth, kids are watching in real time and taking this in and replicating it. That right there and much more is why I think that Clavicular is way worse than Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, and anybody else combined. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please.
And mind you, with Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, some of the stuff they said, they was spitting facts. In no way, shape, or form should you be putting needles in your body to make your face look good. No way, shape, or form should you be putting steroids into your body so your face can look. And he does this other thing where he I don't even know. He like breaks his face with some type of metal to like make your jaw, like, bro, why? Why? How did you even find out about this, gang?
Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way for the channel. If you can't tell, I've been looks-maxing, but I don't want to take that next step, so please hit the subscribe button. Now, back into the video.
Holy fuck. Holy B.
Oh, they're showing a clip of him. They're showing a clip of Clavicular having an overdose. Look at these dudes just laughing.
How do you feel?
You would think that Clavicular's OD from the other day would be some sort of wake-up call for him as a content creator and streamer. I did see some footage of him saying that he was going to turn his life around, maybe put some of the drugs down and all this other stuff, maybe changing his whole content style because he was so reliant on it. But to be honest with you, that's not what we've seen so far. All we got was a hospital visit, a moment of panic, some public concern from some people, but ultimately it was a blip on the timeline of Clavicular. Maybe a day or two afterwards, he hopped back up out of the hospital bed and went straight to the opening of a new club that he owns.
Amazing, thank you guys.
Going with security?
Sure, yeah. Amazing. Good. All right, thank you guys.
Brad's about to come join us.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's working. Good Lord. Bro, she got some bazookas on her. Is that a squirrel on top of her?
The OD wasn't...
Oh my God. Her whole dog is laying on her chest. Gang, I know, bro, like, oh my God. Y'all need procedures, bro. Y'all need to chill. What is the point of her getting this, gang? Bro, she does realize when she turns like 30 to 35 years old, she's cooked, right? Like, gang. Why? It looks crazy.
The OD wasn't some side story. It's pretty much his whole brand and identity at this point. This extreme drug use, the reckless living, the pushing his body to limits that, have yet to be seen on live stream. And that doesn't include his reckless actions with women, the racism, all these other things like that.
In the hospital, like, what are you gonna do, like, after you leave? And I was like, dude, I got the club grand opening. And they were like, oh, I don't think you should go. I think you should take it easy, rest. I was like, dude, you gotta be on the grind.
You see, this is what makes him much different. I think for the past couple of years, we've been marking people like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit as some of the worst people to have as role models for young adult males. And for what it's worth, at the time they were. And maybe still are, but maybe second on that list. You see, those guys sold ideas and dreams of things. We saw both Myron and Walter get girlfriends/women pregnant, for Pete's sake. These guys were frauds, and they just put their words on microphones for the public to hear. Not only does Clavicular have that microphone that broadcasts to the world, but he's also giving people a live demo of what that lifestyle actually looks like. That overdose turned it into marketing far greater than any yacht party or thousands of women that were supposedly hanging out with Fresh and Fit. I'm gonna tell you exactly why it was more dangerous.
Myron's been quite open about the fact that he expects to be in a relationship in which there's one-way monogamy, as he calls it. He's allowed to basically pursue other relationships, but you're not.
The women that he's with, he's just gonna be with them for like a night or so, whatever. But I don't think he sees me that way, because there is a reason why I've stayed so long with him.
That's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. Like right now.
What does that mean? That's so avoidant.
It's something you never know, man. You can always change your mind down the road. Who knows? Maybe I'll say, I only just want to be with one girl because the two would be too tough.
Hey, we can't. I can't comment on this because it's their relationship. She chose to do what she wants to do, so that's her, bro. That whatever they want to do in their relationship, they do in their relationship.
On that already, the 1% male, that ultimate masculine, that he's
Frank, go her. Sorry. Also, I need if you could clean up the room too. Yeah. I need some help, with that.
Was that okay? By the way, I always feel weird, like.
No.
It's awkward though.
No.
Did you feel a little awkward?
No, not at all. She's with me.
She's on board as you are.
On board with what specifically?
You know what? Like just the idea of other ladies.
No, we've had these discussions.
I saw a little bit of pain in her. No, definitely.
No.
Yes, think if I said to her, like, you would have Myron all to yourself, would you rather have that? You don't think she would say, yeah, 100%, of course.
She would say whatever makes him happy.
A few moments later.
It's been several months, guys, that we haven't been together. She was a good girlfriend, bro. We haven't been together for a minute, and she wants a family. And I can't give that to her right now.
I remember a day and age in which Andrew Tate was banned from pretty much every single social media platform Full stop. His name had more Google searches than the Kardashians. And no one, and I do mean no one, could not talk about the Fresh and Fit panel. People were pulling millions upon millions of views every single week based off of these guys' names. The alpha talk, the gender war talk, the wealth talk, the dominance talk. But at the end of it all, it became more of an ideology than an actual lifestyle.
A man isn't about sitting at home with your 7, paying the council tax, and saving up so that at the end of the year you can go to Spain and sit by a pool and have a few drinks. That is a waste of the masculine essence. It is your job to be so important that you're invited to the strangest places on the planet and millions of dollars are transferred into your fucking bank account.
But that day doesn't really exist anymore. For the most part, people get annoyed when people make videos about this, and there are people that are content.
Bro, I mean, Andrew Tate, what they're saying, some of the things Andrew Tate say, it's not wrong in a sense. Like, some of the message he just said just now, like, when it comes to
an essence. It is your job to be so important that you're invited to the strangest places on the planet and millions of dollars are transferred into your fucking bank account.
That's true. That's true. You know you got emotion when you invited to the most random rooms, bro.
That day doesn't really exist anymore. For the most part, people get annoyed when people make videos about this, and there are people that are content creators that won't even touch the red pill manosphere side of the internet anymore. The curtain's been pulled back, and a lot of them, for what it's worth, have been exposed for being either fraudsters, grifters, or not actually living the lives that they say they do in their videos. And for the few instances in which their messages still do reign true, to be quite honest with you, people just aren't believing it anymore. I think that some people have gotten smarter about the red pill community as a whole, and they are just seeing through the rose-tinted glasses that they've been selling for the past couple of years. And this is exactly where they messed up. See, instead of these guys, actually going out there and living their lives, they stayed behind these mics and these screens as a way to protect themselves. So it was easy to chip away at that armor. But this right here is where Clavicular differs. Clavicular isn't talking to you about the journey. He's not saying this will happen at the end of the rainbow if you chase it. He's not saying, hey, if you go down this path, these things will happen for you. He's not saying any of that stuff. He's actually doing it.
Well, I mean, since about the age of 14, I was in all these niche parts of the internet, going through different forums. This is something I've been researching for 6 years. And I would spend every single day at school, I'd be on my computer reading various studies, just educating myself on a ton of different subjects, right? Because looks maxing is extremely comprehensive.
Part of the messaging that people had to go against some of the Tate brothers and the other red pill manosphere guys is that, hey, there's no positive outcome for you at the end of this. And for what it's worth, they always showed a quote unquote finished product, so there was always some gray area. But Clavicular is different. He's shown every single step of the journey. And he's teaching these young boys out here that are watching this content that, these needles and these pills and these potions won't destroy your life. It'll actually accelerate it to the pathway of success. What makes all of it worse to me is that, culturally speaking, he is being rewarded for speed running a downfall. Sure, he might face some hardships. He might look a little bit older. His legs might look a little bit weird. He even might face a heart attack or two. But at the end of the day, is he still being rewarded with, I don't know, People magazine profiles, being on GQ, or hell, even walking in New York Fashion Week? This is a problem that I have with American mainstream society, is that once we have somebody who is, for all intents and purposes, an objectively bad and destructive person, we don't condemn them and then push them to the side to ignore them. We actually put them in the forefront of the conversation. When I was younger, one of the biggest accomplishments that you could have, it was one that was recognized by my grandparents' generation, was having a 60 Minutes interview. People would gather around TVs to watch whatever scientist or inventor or civil rights leader was talking about their newfound endeavor on 60 Minutes. There was a day and age where the person sitting across from Anderson Cooper or Bill Whitaker was extremely respected. But now we're in a day where Clavicular is who is sitting across from them, and this is the topic of conversation. Looks maxing, putting a hammer to your face, sticking yourself with a bunch of needles.
You could height mog them, you could be taller. It typically means outshining someone in some regard.
Are you mugging me right now?
Well, in what metric?
Any?
Status mogging.
What do you mean by that?
I might be status mogging you, maybe money mogging. Who's to say, right? I don't know.
Bro, this nigga just looks like a robot, bro. He doesn't even look human. He just looks like he's an AI. He's AI generated, bro. You telling me this is the guy y'all worship? Y'all stick needles in y'all head to look like him? This is who y'all look like? This who y'all want to look like?
Well, those are different types of mogs that you could achieve on someone. It doesn't only pertain.
Bro, he's still you put all them needles in your face. His face is still he's not an ugly human, but to really put needles on your face just to have acne. You would think you would never have acne a day in your life again. You would think you don't get acne. You would think you don't get all these type of stuff using these steroids, using these needles. And bro, he's still getting the acne and shit. Mind you, he's having this. Bro. Let's keep it a buck, bro. He's insecure about himself. He's insecure about himself, bro. And mind you, Clavicular is not an ugly guy, bro. Let's keep it a buck, bro. No, bro. I'm not even gonna say that, gang. Keep it a buck. Clavicular is not an ugly guy, bro. But to really sit there and put needles in your face just to say you're looks maxing, that's so dumb.
To looks, right? So there's all types of mugs.
Like what kind of give him the fucking Nobel Peace Prize, I guess. Everywhere Clavicular turns in 2026, he is being validated for saying the most outrageous things, destroying his own life, and ultimately portraying it for thousands, and I do mean thousands of people to view this thing. People are using him as a case study for how he's able to get this stupid rhetoric off, and others are actually condoning it and playing into it.
I had sex with them last night, so now I'm moving on to you.
Oh, I'm not like in the lineup. Like I'm not. Like, you can't. I'm either one or like none.
Oh, definitely not then.
Okay.
But that's all good.
Just kidding. You can have me in the lineup.
Now, from a capitalist perspective,
bro, what? Bro, yo, that's kind of impressive.
But that's all good.
Just kidding. You can have me in the lineup.
Yo, Shorty just did all that just to say you can add me to the lineup. Yo.
Now, from a capitalist perspective, I guess I can see why everybody is pushing
How you just said all that? You just said, oh, I'm not going to be any of that. Just to tell him, oh, you can add me to the lineup. I'm just joking. Like, bruh.
Clavicular right now. They see him as a cash cow. Hey, this young kid is, garnering the eyes of a massive audience, no matter what's going on, even if it is pushing him closer and closer to no longer existing on this earth. And guess what? That ultimately doesn't faze me. I don't necessarily care about that. As long as he's not endangering my bag, then I don't really care. I'm just gonna, get it off for him. But what scares me is the fact that they're not taking into consideration all of the young and imperishable people that are watching Clavicular in real time. Those that
if he wants to endanger his life, go right ahead, gang. But he's literally having influence on other young men to put needles, and not even just that, gang. There was a clip of him having another woman on stream, and he literally put a needle in her face, and she'd allowed it. Like, bro, why? Like, gang.
They're not seeing his actions as warnings, but more so as proof. He's not being socially quarantined, he's being socially rewarded. And then once that happens,
love yourself,
anybody
bro.
attempting
Please
to do
love yourself. Look in the mirror. If you're not like sophisticated with yourself, if you're not happy with yourself, please work on yourself, bro. Do not put needles in your face. Do not take drugs. Do not do any of that stuff, bro. It's not worth it, bro.
Any sort of combating of the rhetoric will always get pushed to the side because there's validations at every single metric. Yeah, he overdosed, but guess what? The next day he bounced back and made $10 to $20 to $30, $40,000 and now has a 60 minutes interview. The only reason why I think that he's able to get away with this stuff is because he's exploiting a dark truth that people don't want to really have conversation about. Clavicular's rise is built off of social bias. Looks matter, presentation matter. Attractiveness sways the thought process and ideology of people, and their opinions generally skew to those that are perceived to be more beautiful than others. There are some statistics and studies out there that show that those that are more conventionally attractive see a more biased form of sentencing in court proceedings, bias being in favor towards them. And there are studies that show that, hey, if you are more attractive in the labor market, that you will see greater rewards as far as job prospects, raises, other opportunities, etc., etc. The uncomfortable truth is that Clavicular is not persuasive because he's completely wrong. He's persuasive because he's weaponizing a real bias that exists in everyday people. So the lie isn't that looks don't matter. I would never want to sit here and be that obtuse. But the lie is that you need to destroy yourself in order to cash in on this truth. This whole time he's been telling a young audience.
I mean, you can't. I can see if you destroy yourself, like build up, like if you get in the gym, lifting, working out, lifting, destroying your body just to build it back up, then I agree. But putting drugs inside of your body just to look good, bro, no, bro. No, gang.
Instead, he is selling looks maxing and, you know, making sure that you're mogging 24/7 and you're looking proper and all this other stuff, but that's not true. The reality is that basic self-improvement is real. I'm never gonna be on here and tell you that it's not. Self-improvement is something that a lot of people should go through. You know, basic showering, skincare, get a better haircut, get a better job, open up your vocabulary, read more books, become more intelligent, better clothes, all these different things. Most young men will see improvements by doing these things almost instantly in their life.
Niggas trying to speed run becoming a better person, bro. You cannot speed run becoming a better person, bro. You gotta work on it, bro. It takes time, it takes energy, and it takes your all, bro. You can't just put a needle into your skin and be like, oh, I'm Superman now. No, that's not how that works, gang. It's not how that works.
But that's not what Clavicular's saying. He's never told you, hey, you need to just sleep 8 hours a day and maybe switch out a candy bar for an apple on a more consistent basis to see improvements in your life. No, he's telling you to take an actual hammer, and I do mean an actual hammer, and place it to your face as a way to make your life better. And so now you can see his impact on culture as younger kids are taking to the internet, not only using his vocabulary, but also using his tactics as a part of their new lifestyle in order to become better and more successful.
Lila's father declined an on-camera interview, but told us he's deeply concerned about his son and overwhelmed by the misinformation Zion uses to justify his steroid use.
Are you not worried that you could do real harm to your body?
I'd say I do care, and I know what can come with it. I'm just gonna do it the safest way possible. If I have a heart attack at 30, I have a heart attack.
Self-improvement would work on any and everybody.
Safest way possible. If I have a heart attack at 30, I have a heart attack.
Self-improvement
Christ, bro.
would work on any and everybody, and it doesn't have to come at the cost of being an extreme, but Clavicular knows that. He knows that people are stubborn, people want results instantly, that the baseline is boring, and that the extreme will go viral. The algorithms will reward the insanity. So then why not sell it? He's gonna make self-destruction look like the real price of admission to get into this upper echelon of success. As we saw in that Netflix documentary about the manosphere, you know, more developed minds may see all this stuff as chaos, nonsense, and something that they don't want to be a part of. But the youth don't get that. They don't comprehend that. They see this as just a byproduct of success. They're looking at the stats, they're looking at the cars, they're looking at the viewership, they're looking at the women, the money, the headlines, credible headlines at that. We're not just talking about random, you know, one-off streamer clip channels and pages on twitter.com. No, they're talking about real life headlines, ones that people had to work hard to get to. And they're saying to themselves, hey, the only way for me to find some sort of success in this life is if I follow this specific path. And what's really getting buried in all of this is Clavicular's messaging about how he's only doing this for money.
All you care about is money? Why the fuck else would I stream? You think this is a passion project? Of course, all I care about is money. Like, what are you talking about? Why the fuck else would I be streaming? You think I like doing this shit? Going to these shit-ass club events every single fucking day? It's the same thing every time. I hate it. I don't want to do it. At least I'm honest with you.
That right there is the thing about Clavicular. He's not making this look like some sort of tragic thing that's going on and he's suffering through success and maybe that this is the only way possible. He's making all of this look aspirational, as if it's a necessity to do in order to rise to the top. He knows this stuff. He acknowledges this stuff. But I can almost guarantee you that none of that is getting through to his young and impressionable audience.
At the end of the day, I wouldn't get on these streams and do this if it wasn't for money. The reason I do my kick stream every single day and I go to clubs and I drug myself to the point where I'm able to actually like interact in public, that shit is for money. I'm not passionate about the fact that I'm basically a drug addict to do this shit, okay? I want to stop doing this as soon as possible. It's so obvious, and anyone who's got a brain will say the same thing. That's why I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I do it for money. You know what I mean? People will do this trying to be a messiah. It's ridiculous.
Gang, so you telling me you have to put drugs into your system in order to be, like, entertaining? That's what you need? You need to put needles into your body to be entertaining, gang? You don't have to go to clubs. Gang, there's so much stuff you can do. There's so much content you can make. You decide to put drugs into your body, gang? Even if you're not passionate about this, there's other ways to make money, gang. You gonna make all that money just for yourself not to be here, gang. Congratulations. You gonna make all that money just for you not to be here, gang. You gonna make all that money just for you not to be here, gang. Like, that don't make no sense. All that money's gonna go to your parents. I mean, shit, good shit. You're gonna go to your parents, but you're not gonna be here, bro. You're not gonna have no kids to like spend your money on. So what are you gonna? Where's the money gonna go when you're gone? When your parents end up, you feel me? Where's the money going? Like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Everyone is in this for money.
The saddest part is that he has a lot of copycats and imitators already in the space, but they don't realize the separators between them and Clavicular himself. He has a lot of access. He has a lot of money. He has a bigger audience than them. And not saying that that excuses it or means that he can really afford to do these drugs as well, but his landing is going to be a little bit softer than some of these imitators. It's gotten so bad in this space that even somebody like a Rampage Jackson has had to interject and say like, hey, you guys need to slow down because this can only end badly.
Hey, I'm telling you one thing though. Streamers, we stick together.
Holy shoot. Bro, look at this guy.
That's why I fuck with you because you're a streamer, but I don't like that you do steroids.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna think about what I said in like 5 years. You're like, I wouldn't listen to Rampage. I'm gonna tell you this. Stop doing steroids. Look at your stretch marks. I see it. I know everything, nigga. You know what? I used to fight in Japan. I used to fight steroid freaks just like you.
This is why Clavicular is more dangerous than anything we have ever seen before. He's putting out video evidence. The words are meaningless if there's no
Rampage
visual.
Jackson, bro, in the UFC. Them niggas in UFC, they love them steroids. So yeah, Rampage Jackson, he knows a thing or two, bro. Them niggas used to love, and apparently they still do. Allegedly, bro. I'm not saying they do, but allegedly UFC people, they still do it, allegedly. So Rampage Jackson would know.
To it. And on a day and age where everybody's clipping up everything, every moment is live, every moment is visible, that video element of him actually doing these things really drives it home. You don't need to agree with how he goes about doing these things. You just have to look and see how society is accepting him and even platforming him and pedestalizing him better and faster than anybody before him. He's Tate 2.0. He's Myron and Walter 2.0. He's all of the extreme guys that commentary channels have been talking about for the past 3, 4, 5 years, but just the updated version. That last method is patched. You can't come in the space anymore, put a couple of girls on a couch with microphones and say, hey ladies, high value man, does your man need to make 100K anymore? You don't need to do that anymore because it won't work. He's showing in real time that if you take it to this next extreme level, you will get rewarded beyond your wildest dreams. He's at an interesting intersection of 3 different things: young male insecurity, pretty privilege, and an internet that rewards this extremity. And he's maximizing it to hell. This is a dangerous combination, and I do think that we need to get in front of it. When we see these big broadcasts and publications talk about this guy, I think that we need to condemn them being so serious. Unless they are highlighting these things in a manner in which they are condemning it explicitly, not by platforming him and then condemning it, but I just mean straight up condemning him. Other than that, I don't understand a reason why you would be talking about this type of content creator, because the only thing that this will do is put him in the eyes of young and impressionable men who will ultimately look to copy him as they see him as success.
Hey man, W freaking video. Y'all stop doing drugs. If you want to work on yourself, if you have insecurities, work on yourself, bro. Stop doing drugs.